Heyo! This is Mike.
This is Brad.
And we have a special guest, our good friend, Gage, Pidgeotto, in the flesh. Right here, right now. For all of y'all.
How's it going, guys?
Brad and I didn't discuss this with you at all.
I was actually kidnapped today.
Yeah, we kidnapped him today. We just said, hey, here's the game plan. We're going to pick you up. And we told you almost nothing else about that.
The preface of my afternoon was money to buy concrete, 2 shovels, and handcuffs, furry preferred.
Yeah, sounds about right. That was mainly Brad saying all that, right, Brad?
Yeah, okay, I'll cop to that one.
Yeah, because you're evil. So we were thinking for this podcast, for this episode of the podcast, we're going to bring our other good friend, our other good pal, Gage. Front and center, Pidgeotto in the flesh, here for you today. And we figured we would just tell a couple stories, bullshit around, have some fun. I'll tug on his beard. But really, Gage, let's start this off with just telling us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name's Gage.
Good start.
I served 4 years in the Marines as a heavy equipment operator, and I am now a 6'2", 225-pound bearded bridal consultant at Bed Bath & Beyond. Yeah, that's who I am.
God, that laugh is kind of devilish in a way. So, Gage, how long have we been friends?
Basically 2 years at this point.
At this point, yeah. Would you say I'm a better friend than Brad is your friend?
Well, see, you're kind of the glue.
Don't lie. I bought pizza today.
It wasn't beer.
Oh.
Yeah. Also, don't bully him, Brad.
There's probably no beer here because
I have
your
rum.
kids are too old to have sippy cups and baby bottles around here.
Ooh.
And that brings us to our first story.
Oh.
Did he just segue on his first podcast?
He did segue on it. Better than us.
Yeah, I gotta
son of a
say.
bitch. You're not allowed on anymore. So anyways,
Yeah.
back to normal.
Yeah, Brad, I need to have a discussion. We're replacing you.
You've been voted off the island.
So, okay. So you mentioned Baby Bottle Brad. Okay? I've mentioned it before. I said that was a story for next time, and we brought the source of the story.
So, we do a little Secret Santa as friends, and I drew good old Brad here's name. I think we'd known each other
A year.
about a year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
8 months-ish
Yeah.
time frame. I had no idea what to get him, and we hang out and do trivia sometimes. So I got him a gift card to the bar that we do trivia at, because who doesn't like free alcohol? He doesn't drink very much or very quickly, so I bought the gift card and put it inside of a baby bottle so that he could bring it with him to the bar and nurse his beers every time we go play trivia.
And Gage and I have both made fun of Brad for this. Gage more so because he's a drinker. He doesn't hit, but he's a drinker.
I'm not an alcoholic. I have yet to graduate college.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And I am not a drinker at all. I've never had a lick of alcohol. So I just get to make fun of Brad saying that he's a lightweight. Doesn't make sense, but I do it.
It absolutely doesn't.
Yeah, but it gets under your skin, and that's what's great. Yeah.
Hey, at least I proved myself in Vegas.
Ooh.
Is that another segue?
It's that. Wow. Now, before we get to that, though, so you in your contacts is Baby Bottle Brad for him. What is it for me?
Mike Wazowski.
Booyah. I told you. I said on a previous podcast, I said, best person in the world, best human being in the world, something like that. And I gotta say, I'm not far off. I mean, Mike Wazowski is a
You're pretty fucking far off for me, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, am I in your phone?
Defeated Sasquatch contestant.
All right. Oh,
I
I think we'll get to that one here in a bit too.
I forgot about that. Okay, so we're segueing all over the place. It's like we're Paul Blart Mall Cop. Thank you for laughing at that. I was worried about that joke. So the first Segway was built in 2013 and is operated on an AC battery. I know I got that all wrong. It was actually 2010.
Oh,
Yeah, and it was a
it?
DC battery.
was it made in Texas? I'm heard everything's better in Texas.
Except for the Cowboys. Hey-oh!
Nailed it.
So
That's America's team right there.
no, Giants. They literally have
Only if you want a losing team.
Hey man, the Giants at least have the colors of America. Okay?
I can't see color, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you colorblind.
Bitch.
Ooh, good addition. I was fumbling on my words. So anyway, you had a Segway, and we kind of just drove over it. We went to Vegas for a trip. I've kind of already mentioned it. We went and saw Queen live. I mean, didn't have Freddie Mercury or John Deacon, but I mean, still had a solid cast of people.
Technically, Queen plus Adam Lambert would be your official title there.
Yeah. It was a good concert. Now, I mentioned going to this concert that I really want to go see Queen because it's my favorite band in the world. Love their music, love everything about them. And so I mentioned it to Brad and Gage, and we discovered that they were going to Vegas. And
So I said, we're going.
And we went.
'Cause I'm one hell of a gambler.
yeah, I went for Queen. You're Gage. You're Brad. Brad, you went for the gambling, and Gage went for the booze. So it was enough for everyone,
So
really.
win-win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say we all did pretty good.
So go ahead and tell us some stories from Vegas.
So, so we went to Vegas, all three of us.
All right, good story.
The Three Musketeers, if you will.
I'm D'Artagnan.
We we drove to Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't too bad of a drive. I rode bitch. It was great, but only because I love skiing. So we get to Vegas, we pull in. You know, I just see the excitement filling Mike's eyes here, like a kid in a candy shop. Brad's been there a couple times before, so to me and him, it was just kind of back again. All right, let's see what kind of shenanigans we can get into. So the first night, well, first we got to start with Brad, your tradition.
Tradition. You go to Vegas, you have to start it off right. So tradition is always, you get there, you find the first roulette table, you drop 50 on black. And that will tell you how your weekend's going to go for the rest of that time.
So Brad dropped 50 on red.
Wow. Wow. So, dropped it on black, and we won. So we knew it was going to be a good vacation.
Yeah, and that was before we even checked into the hotel room.
Yep.
So go up to the hotel, drop all of our stuff off, and then we head back downstairs. And we started gambling. And you know what they do when you start gambling?
Well, we also got food first.
Did we?
Yes.
Yeah, we went.
Dick's.
We went to Dick's Diner.
Get a mouthful of Dick's.
Yes, we did. We did go to Dick's.
Well, some of you.
Mine was just a military joke about how I love semen. Brad's, what was yours? Do you remember what your hat was?
I
At
don't.
Dick's? Do you still have your hat?
I do have my hat somewhere.
Oh,
around
we
here.
need to find that. We'll get back to you. Mike here though, he had the winner. He had cancer with 2 weeks to die, and every woman was required to show him her tits. Mike didn't really bank on this as much as he should have.
Yeah, Vegas kind of threw me for a loop at first.
You definitely got the hang of it by the end of your limo ride, though.
Gonna ignore that segue.
All right. So, yeah, we went out, got some dinner. Then we started gambling, and, of course, we're going to get a bunch of free drinks while we're gambling. Mike here wasn't much of a gambler. He was kind of our eyes in the sky. So it was Brad and I always on table, and Mike kind of stood behind us. And he would get these weird little, I don't know what you want to call it, spidey senses, if you will. And he would just lean over and be like, all right, third tier, black, whatever, and give us a whole rundown of what to bet on. And I'd probably say I think you hit that about 85% of the whole night.
Yeah, I have a really good gut feeling about stuff. Even when we go to like trivia, I just go, I'm pretty sure it's this, and then I never back it up with anything. So people just usually just go, no, I think it's this, and I go, all right. I was of course right.
That's Brad and I don't question that anymore.
Yeah. So we ended up what, $1,500 up or so?
Yeah, about that. Pockets full of escorts and business
As per our
cards.
game. As per our game.
Yeah, from walking the strip.
Oh, by the way, that just reminds me, I have a question for you, because you never got back to me when I called you. Do you still have any of those cards, and are they in your wallet?
I do not. I think I threw them away when I just moved.
You
All right.
son of a bitch.
All right.
I'm sorry, guys.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay, because I have one in my wallet that I've just never taken out. And it was the only one I collected while we were there, because you two were playing the game, and I was just taking in the sights, basically, while you guys were...
You mean staring at your card?
Drunken... Hey, man. Hey, man. Back off the mic. Back off the mic there, Buster Brown. So, yeah, I was talking to it with some friends, and they were like, does Gage have it in his wallet? And I was like, I'll ask him. So I called you, and you never called me back. And since we kidnapped you today, I can bring this all to you now.
Well, I appreciate you bringing that around. I didn't have one in my wallet. I did at one time. I think I had it on the upwards of almost 200 cards, though.
Yeah.
Oh, you folded her? Disrespectful.
That is disrespectful.
It had to fit in my wallet.
What's a name?
You couldn't have at least folded her at her fold.
Dude, I shoved it in my wallet. I don't take this out to look at it.
How dare you disrespect Lily like that?
I only keep it as a memento for our trip to Vegas, so I can always remember it.
So yeah, we ended up like $1,500 up that night. I think we only started with 150.
Only a couple hundred.
I think you started with 100 and I started with 50. So all in all, it was an amazing night. And for Grandpa Jack, Black 22 was working out.
We miss you, Grandpa Jack. Wish you were there.
He's still alive,
He was
by
in
the way.
spirit.
Oh. This is awkward. But, so we shared a hotel room. We got 2 beds, right? Brad, you fronted the hotel room.
Yeah.
Basically. And so you got 1 bed. I'm a nice guy, or at least I pretend to be. I was going to give Gage the 2nd bed. And then myself, we brought a sleeping bag so I can just sleep in a sleeping bag on the floor, because when in Rome, or in Las Vegas, if you know what I mean,
All right, whatever. You sleeping on the floor is a ridiculous idea.
So Gage heard about this when we got to the hotel. In the parking garage, we were gonna grab the sleeping bag, and he goes, "You're ridiculous. You're sleeping in the bed with me." And you took the sleeping bag and you threw it back in the trunk and you closed it. And I was like, I can't argue with that. So you know what I did? I manned up. And I slept in the bed with Gage. No homo. But we didn't do anything.
That he remembers.
A little bit of spooning.
So we slept, Gage and I slept in the same bed together. Except for we kind of didn't, in a way. So Brad and Gage got drunk.
Like, we're talking
Shit-faced.
6 sheets to the wind.
I don't know what that means, but that's, I think, mainly because I'm not alcoholic.
Well, that's as high as we could count at that point, so...
Oh, okay.
No, I could only count to 5. One hand wasn't functional anymore.
Yeah. So we got to the hotel and Gage was relaxing and he laid across the bed. And I mean like at a slant. I had about an inch and a half of room to lay down and put covers over me. I slept on one side for 4 hours. I only had like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and finally I just couldn't take it. Gage just was sprung across the bed. I couldn't do anything. I didn't want to be mean or rude and wake him up. He's gonna have a hangover the next day. I know this.
I was so shit-faced that I probably wouldn't even remember you waking me up if you tried.
Yeah, that's why I didn't even try. So I woke up really early. Again, we stayed out like till like 5,
Yeah.
4, something like that.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I actually had 2 hours of sleep because I got up at like 7 in the morning and just roamed Vegas by myself.
That's because you didn't drink.
That's because I didn't drink, but I ran on 2 hours of sleep. So, and Queen was that night. So yeah, that was the first night of sleeping with Gage. If ladies out there, I mean, you are a taken man, but ladies out there, if you want to know what it is like to sleep with Gage, he hogs the bed. Really, he just truly hogs it. I hope you value your space because it's like it's like a foot and a half of room you actually get.
Yeah, you better get me right where you want me in bed the first time I go down. I'm a big dude. You're not moving me after I'm out.
Yeah, that was my mistake. I learned quick, though, because the second night, right after the Queen concert, Gage went to the bathroom. Brad was already in his bed, and I go, I need to do this quickly. So I got in bed and established my spot on the bed.
He did. Very props to him. We had I think, what is it? Did you actually propose like a pants-on rule or something?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Yes, he absolutely
So I was
did.
like, we're jumping around all over the place right now. But so night 2, he's already in bed and the lights are off in the room. I don't sleep with my pants on. That is uncomfortable.
And hot.
Yeah, it's hot. We're in Vegas in the middle of summer.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
So the lights are off and I mosey on over to the bed where Mike has already claimed his spot. And I drop trowel. And unfortunately, a little clank when my belt hit the ground. And all I hear from Mike is, "Hey, Gage, what was that?" Nothing.
Well,
And I climbed in bed.
so
I am trying to hold in laughter because I know exactly what that sound is.
so that was Gage's perspective. This was my perspective. Was blackness first of all, and then all of a sudden I just hear rustling, and then the belt hit the ground, and I go, Gage, was that your pants? And he goes, no. And I go, okay, I'm gonna trust you on this. And guess who was up first crack of dawn in the morning? Good old pal Ray here. I woke up, I walked around the opposite end of the bed, and look what I found on the ground. A belt, and attached to that belt is pants. Shorts, to be specific, but I was just like, you lied to me. He woke up, I was staring at him, I was sitting in a chair, I was staring at Gage, and I just go, you lied to me. And he goes, I did?
All right, we might need to do some backtracking here.
Yeah, we segued a couple of times.
So, first night, lot of money, great time. We'll continue there then. So, great time, first night, get a whole bunch of money. Brad and I, 6 sheets to the wind. We now have pockets full of
Moulet.
money and
Pictures of ladies.
pictures of ladies and coupons for rides to strip clubs.
By the way, it's like 2 in the morning at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably around that ballpark. So now that we have all this money, a reasonable man would save it. We did not.
No.
Let's just say Gage isn't a reasonable man.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
God, I love that quote. You know what? That quote is probably the quote I associate to you more. And I think people associate this quote to me, which is, I'm not a glass half full, not a glass half empty type of person. I'm just happy to have a glass.
Amazingly,
I will
I've
fucking
never
fight you.
heard you say that.
Hey, man! Fucking fight me!
Yeah, I've never heard you say that either, since I brought it up. Interesting.
This is bullshit.
Moving on. So, irrationally, we call up a limo service that we had a little coupon
As
for.
one does.
Yeah, as one does, and
I don't.
we take me, myself,
And I.
That makes no sense.
Well, you did
All right.
take me
This is
and
why-
myself.
If you say it,
No. If what you just said.
Well, yeah,
you
I
took
did take
me
myself.
and myself. You took both of you, so you're correct. Especially since you were probably seeing double at this point.
yeah.
Yeah. You were,
Which was-
you were 5 sheets to the wind or whatever.
6.
Ah, I was close.
You know, maybe 5 on the limo
5.
ride.
Yeah.
The drinks at the.
Yeah. They came with like drink vouchers and all this other stuff. But so of course it was great. Yeah, you're right. I was seeing double, which means I saw 4 boobs instead of just
Well,
2.
lucky man.
It's great.
Lucky.
I think you did that too,
And
and you were sober. Does that mean there was 2 girls? Mike?
Okay. I should have seen where this story was going.
Okay, no. I'm gonna. We'll get your perspective.
Okay, fine.
But I'm gonna give you Brad and I's perspective first.
I'll shut up. I'll be over here.
So
Be over here.
we take our limo ride. We're having a blast, and we get to a
Come off the mic.
respectable establishment. That was a strip club. So we go in, get all of our tickets, all of that stuff, get our money changed into ones,
Vouchers.
and our drink vouchers. Yeah. So we go up to the bar because of course we hadn't drank in 25
10
minutes.
minutes or
Yeah. my,
It had been too long. We'll just put it that way.
too much blood was entering my alcohol level.
Yeah.
So we had to fix that. So we go up to the bar area and we're waiting in line. And next thing I know, I turn around and here's Mike. And he has a very attractive woman, one in
Each arm.
each arm, yeah, and is walking away from us. We had been there for maybe 4 minutes.
My turn?
Yeah.
Is it my turn? So, I want to backtrack a little bit. Just a tad bit. You took me over to where the pole, the main like center stage pole is, and you sat me down and you were like, wait here. And then you proceeded to stack
Your house of dollar bills.
Yeah.
dollar bills into a nice little house. So said stripper, let's call her Cinnamon Mercedes Sapphire, comes over
Look at that.
That was smooth.
comes over to collect all the money. And that's what she did. She came over and collected all the money and then
walked away.
then
I forgot about this.
she walked away.
She ghosted him.
It was the end of her dance. And I just spent like, I don't know, I probably threw out like a $10 and stacked it into a nice little tower.
Yeah.
And she literally walked over, King Kong'd my tower, and took it and left the stage.
Yeah.
Because her time up on that part of the stage was up, so they were switching out girls. So then the new girl comes down, and here comes Gage-o, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And then again makes another house. That lady, let's also call her Jasmine. Jasmine comes over and just grabs all the money and just goes to another person. So that's another $10 that you spent $20 on me to have
To
them
get
basically
nothing.
like I might as well be in a relationship. They might as well just take my money.
Well, I mean,
I got no
you
benefit
didn't,
out of that.
You didn't get a personal dance, but I did get to see 4 titties.
Yes, you're right about that. Now,
Not probably worth $20,
No.
but for story's sake, you know, I mean, it's good to retell it.
Yeah.
It's something to laugh on.
yeah, no, it's definitely funny,
You know,
especially the first one, Sapphire. She just kind of just was like, "Oh, time's up. I'll take whatever's left." I'm like, "All right."
Is that a sponsor?
I mean, if they want to
I would
sponsor,
take that.
I mean, he already
I
poured
already tried
out
to-
for Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I tried to plug out for Mountain Dew.
And we were like, of course, because he loves Mountain Dew. So anyway, now back to where Gage kind of left off was,
Yeah. So he swaggers off with these 2 ladies.
yeah,
And then disappears for a while.
So I 2 girls come up. I am wearing my Monsters University hat because I'm Mike Wazowski. But I was wearing my Monsters University hat. And Tilda, the main girl who chatted me up, I will never forget your name.
I think she did more than just chat him up.
Spoilers. So she comes up. I'm wearing my MU hat. and she's talking to my ear, and I turn to my left. I bang her in the forehead with the brim of my hat. So that was already a great start. I already looked like a pathetic human for doing that. That was fun, though.
But the good thing is she also didn't know you were sober.
Yeah.
So she was probably just like, God, this drunk guy.
Yeah. Except for I remember how much of a fool I am. So,
Well, luckily, it's not your actions. It's your money that speaks loudest.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. So they kind of whisked me away, and they took me to the back room and tied me up and just started beating the shit out of me. They beat the shit out of me like I owed them money, which I did. It's how the process goes. No, in all seriousness, they took me to the back room and they started to be like, hey, here's the prices. And I go, yeah, okay. And then I take out my wallet and I'm like, I only have $80, and they're like, well, it's like $154 to do anything. And I'm like, oh, okay.
To be fair,
To be fair.
me and Gage were gonna pay for his dances, but he got whisked off so fast, and then
We still had all the money.
disappeared from us.
Yep.
We had the $1,500 from the tables earlier.
And let me be clear, I didn't know this was gonna go down. I didn't know we were going to a strip club because you guys spoke in code. You were like,
Let's all. I forgot we didn't preface this story with, this is Mike's first time ever at a strip club.
yes,
Yes.
never been. I was saving it for my midlife crisis.
Which apparently happened. How old were you then? It's a short life.
Yeah, 22. So yeah, they say they were gonna pay. I got taken away too quick, I guess. And so I was like, yeah, I only have a certain amount of money because I didn't know we were gonna do this. I put all my money in the safe because it's Vegas. I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna walk around with $1,000 in my pocket. Oh wait, you guys did. So I got taken away and I didn't have money on me, and I wasn't gonna use my card at a strip club because Mama didn't raise no fool. And so I was
Swipe it right down
oh my gosh. So Tilda was like, well, do you think your friends will pay for it? And I go, I don't know. Let's go try and find them. Could not find them at all. She
and
then
at that point, I was already getting my own dance. So
So, when I am extremely inebriated, for some reason, I come up with elaborate ploys and plans. Sat up on stage for a couple dances, but I'm not also the guy that's going to go spend a whole bunch of money for a private dance. So what do? I mosey my drunk ass over to a reserved table. I take the reserved sign off, and I put it under my seat and sit down. No one notices.
mission accomplished.
Oh, God. I'm going to say it. So, towards...
if not,
This is blackmail. So towards the end of the night, I have multiple strippers convinced that I am a male stripper that is at this strip club to learn learn techniques. I don't know exactly what. Keep in mind, blacked out. I don't know why this always happens to me. What? I don't.
So you're convincing these strippers who get lied to enough by at least their dads.
I was waiting for the first dad issues joke to be tossed out there.
Yeah, I who has the biggest daddy issues than me? Come back, Dad. I miss you. You went for cigarettes 23 years ago. Haven't seen you since. Please stay away, Ashley. I'm better off without. But so you were convincing these strippers that get lied to on a daily, hourly basis, basically, and you told them you were a stripper, and you also told them the name of what you go by.
yes.
Oh God,
I
don't remember this.
You don't remember?
I so remember this. Oh no! Because who sat down at that table?
You.
The lumberjack. That's who sat at that table. Because your stripper name was the lumberjack.
And we don't
I'm a mad genius.
we don't have face cam for this right now, but Gage always has a big full beard, and
It's like the Brawny Man.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
It kind of sucks because when you dress up for Halloween and wear like or really any day, if I wear a black and red plaid shirt, it's I'm either a lumberjack or a plumber or
Serial killer.
a brownie,
Uh-huh.
brawny man.
Yeah.
Brawny Man.
It's not fair.
Psychopath. By the way, I'm excited for your Halloween costume this year.
Oh, me too. Have you heard about this?
No, I haven't
No?
heard about this.
Go ahead and tell him.
Okay, so this year, our friend is putting on a dark carnival
Yeah.
kind of esque. Everyone gets together, plays games, but everyone's got to like dress up. You know, kind of more on the elaborate side of the Halloween costume game. So this year, I have elected to be the bearded lady.
Isn't that great?
That is amazing.
That's
Yeah.
perfect, right? Yeah. So yeah, bearded lady, and
Depending on how this podcast goes, I might post a picture for you guys later. We'll
Yeah.
see.
yeah, we'll link our social medias and all that when the time comes. So, but let's get back to the meat and potatoes.
Vegas, baby.
Yeah, Vegas.
Okay, let's see. So where were we at? I mean, I think that kind of finishes out the strip club kind of night.
Well, kind of. I still have a little bit if you
I don't
mind.
remember. I've obviously
At this
already
point, he's
tapped
blacked out.
Yeah.
So
By the way, I can confirm almost every single one of these stories since I'm the only credible source. Really. So after meeting with Tilda and lady I don't remember because I never got her name, I went searching for Brad and Gage to find them. I couldn't find them. I scoured outside, inside, everywhere kind of side, and could not find them. They were 3 tables away from me, apparently. I don't remember ever seeing them after I finally found them.
I do want to say I vaguely remember like looking over at one point from my table and like pointing out to Brad that you were over there.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's
probably.
like just a drunk flashback that just happened right now.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, I went searching, couldn't find them, and decided to cut my losses. So that was my first strip club experience ever.
We also took a limo home.
And we took
No, it was an Uber, wasn't it?
we took a limo there. The guy was so
Oh,
busy
he
he
was
called
yeah, you're right.
us
We had to
a
get a-
Uber.
yeah.
Yeah, but our ride was paid for home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ballers.
yeah, freaking yeah, amazing. So that's kind of where our first night, where we stayed out till 5 a.m. I got 2 hours of sleep the next day, and
So what did you do that next morning?
I just roamed around in the morning to see everything at daylight, basically. Just walked around our hotel real quick. I went and gambled, lost $200, I think, or $100 at least. I myself am not good at picking the right numbers when it's for myself, but when I do it for others, I'm amazing at it. I'm like Rain Man. Rain Man.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you came back to
Uh-huh.
the room
Yep.
after that,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't you like go? You went to go lay back down.
No, I also got food at one point without you guys, and then you guys finally woke up, and you guys were also hungry.
Well, we were hungover
Yeah, you needed food.
to a new degree.
Yeah.
But so it's also I drink much more frequently
Copiously, some would say.
than everyone around this microphone. So I kind of have that wake up, know exactly how to make my hangover better. So I popped up. I'm like, we need greasy food. I knew there was a Popeyes downstairs.
Yep.
Got some orders, and I ran downstairs.
I came with you.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike and I went.
I stayed upstairs because obviously, as baby bottle Brad,
Hey,
and
can
I
you-
usually nurse my beers.
Can you say that with less vinegar?
No, I
Be
can't.
proud of that
actually.
name.
Maybe a little bit more
So-
salt.
Yeah.
I could do it with a little bit more salt.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Make
I
it
could do with
Lay's.
more salt.
Lay's if you want to
So-
sponsor us.
Yeah, instead, I stayed up in the room and proceeded to die. Or at least that's what I hoped would happen in that next couple of hours.
Yeah, so we went and got some Popeyes and brought it back up. I think you maybe like
He
had a singular bite and you said no.
Yeah,
And rolled back over in bed.
I'm pretty sure it came up anyways, like just a little bit after that.
Yeah.
And then I went back to bed and slept for the next
Till like 4 in the afternoon. 4.
3-4 hours or something.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
slept till like 4.
So, also, I like to party. So I eat my greasy food, and I decided I was going to hit the 21 and up pool because Vegas baby.
Yeah.
And I think you were just going to like lay down or something, or you said you wanted to come, or you would come. That's the way you worded it. You like, I'll come if you want to. And I was like, all right, fuck you. I don't want you there anyways, if you're going to say it that way.
I mean, for the man's credit, he only had 2 hours of sleep, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I gave it to him. So I kind of left them in the room and went downstairs. And in Vegas, all the little shopettes kind of things that are in the casinos, they were running a deal.
They still are running those deals.
I think it's a permanent thing.
It wasn't the time before, though.
No? Or maybe it's a new thing. So it's maybe it's a summer deal.
But I did teach, by the way, when I did go later, I did teach Scott the easiest way and cheapest way was to stop by the Walgreens and pick
CVS
up
and
your-
Walgreens,
Yep.
baby, on the strip. Fill your pockets full of beers.
Way cheaper than $17 a drink, unless you're gambling, that is.
Yeah. I may like to drink, but I'm still poor. So 2 tall boys and you get a free shot of whatever liquor you wanted. So I go and get a few beers and my shots, and I go down to the pool. Some would call me a social butterfly, if you will,
I will.
or cockroach, social cockroach.
I wouldn't.
No,
You definitely spread your wings.
and
What?
fly.
I don't know.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
Yeah. You do show a lot of people your peacock. I mean, granted, some people say, "Let me see your peacock." You know,
Dude, I haven't heard that song in forever.
dude, I don't even know that song.
That's somehow find a way to get rights, and that should be the intro to this.
The intro is the "Hey-oh, hey-oh,
Slow fade out.
peacock."
Yeah,
Okay.
into heyo.
Why do we need to get rights to that song? I just made it
So
up.
we don't get sued.
I just made that song up.
Just don't have the lyrics, right?
May-
We'll fair
yeah,
use it. Whatever.
whatever.
We'll figure
We'll
it
figure
out.
out the copyright laws. We'll get ourselves together.
Oh, we're doing it.
So I show up down there, and everyone's like in their little groups or like on their cell phones, and we're in Vegas by the pool. If everyone listening does not see an issue with this, we can't be friends. And I'll be friends with just
Pandemic.
about everyone.
I mean, that's why we're friends.
So I see this couple off to my right, and they are both yatted, head to toe, covered in tattoos. And I was like, well, that's my end right there. So kind of sit over by near him, drink a beer, and then kind of waited for my time to slide into the conversation. And we start chit-chatting. Come to find out, we've like been tattooed by the same people in Southern California. It was crazy, but we were all having a good time, and we all know that a good time breeds a better time. So people kind of just start joining in around us. And by the time Mike and Brad woke back up, and they're like calling me because they are starving and they need food, I found 2 other military guys. We're with 3 or 4 different other couples and a bachelorette party in the pool, having the time of our lives trashed in a pool. I tried to get the girl to register at Bed Bath & Beyond, just so you guys know.
I remember that.
I did try.
I do remember that.
I think I have her number. I should call her up. And
She's a married woman by now.
hey,
Don't look at me with those sex eyes, you heathen.
it's like soccer, man. Just because there's a goalie doesn't mean you can't score.
And that's the phrase I associate with you.
Oh. Hey-oh.
Hey-oh. So, Gage went and did all that. Brad was asleep. He was out.
Like he was cartoon character X's over his eyes. laying in bed.
Yeah, pretty much. And I never went to bed. I stayed up and I just chilled on my phone. I relaxed my body because we did a lot of walking beforehand, and
That's
you know
true.
the things that Tilda does. So I did get into contact with you because by this time Brad awakened from his stupor, and we were like, we need to get food and get ready for the Queen show that night.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we went.
I was getting ready
Yes.
by drinking.
By drinking.
Pre-gaming is not getting ready to go out. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, that is the most crucial part of drinking on a budget. See, you guys aren't putting yourselves in my shoes.
Well, you weren't wearing shoes. You were at a pool.
Depends if I was going to get more alcohol or not.
Were you wearing Depends? Gage?
No, they would have swollen up too much in the water, and I would have looked ridiculous. I just wing it.
Gotcha. Yeah, Gage.
You just blame it on the little kid next to me.
Gage, this is why you hate me, and you stare at me with just a conviction of why are we friends most of the time, and it's comments like that I make. Just were you wearing Depends? So yeah, we were like, we need to get some food. So we went to the Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah, we did.
Yeah. Again, best source of info is myself. So we went to the Hard Rock Cafe. We bought food.
More alcohol.
Because obviously. And then we went and gambled some more. And then we moseyed on over to the MGM for the Queen concert. And the Queen concert was amazing.
It was amazing.
Oh, and what was it? We were outside. I had some. Did we both have beers or just me when we were
I think it
walking
was just
up?
you.
Oh.
Shocker. So here I am outside, literally trying. I think I had like 2 tall boys with me, and I'm just trying to get them down as fast as possible. Probably not the cold. They're not the coldest at this point. I've been walking around like 2 casinos with them, so I'm like, well, I can't take them inside.
Yeah,
you know,
there's a sign.
I'm following. Well, no, I assumed
Oh.
that you couldn't take them inside.
Yeah, because generally you can't for most shows.
So I'm like trying to chug these down as fast as I can, and then the doorman walks up and hands me a clear cup, and he goes, "Hey man, you can just put it in this and bring it inside." That was, I think, one of my guardian angels.
Yeah. Not all
God, I love Vegas.
Yeah, me too.
not all heroes wear capes. Some of them just have plastic cups.
And open doors.
And open legs,
Tilda.
because women are my hero as well.
Back off, Brad. So anyway, we get into Queen. I bought a couple of merchandise stuff that I
Me too.
wanted.
I
Huh?
got a deck of cards.
You did get a deck of cards. I also got a deck of
That
cards.
way I could have a deck of cards that was Queen to play drinking games with.
How dare you sour the name of... that's fair. So we got into Queen, and beforehand, we kind of looked up the set list of the songs that would play.
So let me also say this. So we all went for this concert because Mike really wanted to go.
Yeah.
Brad wanted to go to Vegas. Mike really wanted to go see Queen, who was in Vegas.
I was a huge...
He's currently wearing a Queen shirt right now.
Exactly.
He just showed me earlier, before the podcast, 2 or 3 pictures of new Queen shirts he just bought over the past couple months. I've been out of town. So I enjoy Queen, and I know who Queen is, and I've listened to a lot of their music, but I don't think for a normal day person, I don't think you realize how many songs Queen has actually made until you catch Queen at closing night in Vegas.
Yes.
And they play for 2.5, almost 3 hours straight.
Mm-hmm.
Just their music. And it was absolutely, I don't know, it was bliss, honestly.
Breathtaking, almost.
Yeah. Immaculate.
Wow, good word. Good
Big word for me, I know.
Yeah, go ahead, Brad. Your turn.
Super.
Well, Brad, you always bring it. So...
College education and all.
Oh.
That's rough.
Sad
What'd you do, get divorced?
I can't wait to listen
Get out now!
I can't wait to listen to that. So, anyway, I'm a huge Queen fan. And Gage is right. It was one of the last nights, and so they went all out. I think they even did extra stuff. And like I said, Brad and I beforehand, we looked up a set list of the songs that would be kind of playing to kind of expect what would be happening. Because honestly, if I'm going to go see Queen, I want my favorite songs played. And one of my favorite songs wasn't on the set list, and I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, it's not a determination or It's not a reason to not go. So I saw my second favorite song. I was like,
Determining factor.
yes,
These big words.
yeah,
So proud of you.
yeah. Look at this guy.
We had a lot of red crayons this morning.
Classic Marine. So I saw my second favorite song. And I was like, okay, that's great. I'm happy with at least hearing them play my second favorite song, which is second favorite song. Somebody
love.
Hey, man, that was my line. Okay, it's in the script right here. Okay, it's my line. So yeah, Somebody You Love, second favorite song. Number one song for me. Gage, do you know it?
Come on.
Oh.
Ooh. What did I listen to like 50
my
times
God. What is it
straight?
called? Something free. What is it?
Freebird.
Freebird. Thank you.
I'm out. I'm fucking out. I'm out of here.
I get 50% credit on that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can. Ow. Oh.
The fucking knee.
Let me guess. You used to be an adventurer until you took a desk to the knee.
Aw. Are you memeing on our podcast?
He is.
Okay.
One does. That would have been good if I would have killed the execution.
We can edit it out.
Oh, it's fine. The
So,
moment's gone.
so you got most of it right. What's the song then? Not,
Freebird.
It's not Freebird.
I want to
Oh, break free.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get the
That's
fuck outta here.
that's my number one favorite song.
get the fuck.
And I didn't know they were gonna play it. By the way, I recorded this whole concert.
Me as well. Drunkenly. I was that guy. I'm sorry. Everybody.
Yeah, his phone was upside down, and also it was a front-facing camera, so you get a lot of good reaction shots.
I don't think I was that drunk.
Well, you were high on crayons, so you know.
No, I was deprived.
Oh, deprived of crayons.
Yeah.
Oh, I always get those mixed up. You're basically the same person.
They only had an M&M dispensary, and a marijuana dispensary, but not a crayon dispensary.
Yeah, you gotta get that good stuff, the Crayola.
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up, out of everybody's surprise, mainly my surprise, they played "I Want to Break Free," and on the video, you just hear me go, "Oh my god!"
It basically sounded like the biggest 14-year-old fangirl of like some boy band you've ever heard.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was good.
As much of a Queen fan I am fine.
I remember looking in front of you, because it was me, Mike on my left, and then Brad on the left of him. I remember looking in front of you, and Brad looking in front of you back at me, and both of us just like laughing because your song came on.
Yeah, I jumped to my feet and just started singing "I Want to Break Free" with the band, and it was one of the best moments of that trip for me.
Yeah, no, it was, honestly, I mean, and that's kind of a part of going on these trips, you know, with people that you are such close friends with, is like just seeing you that happy was like a good part of the trip for me.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
I know like that was like mission accomplished right at that moment.
Yeah.
Everything you'd ever hoped and dreamed for just came true.
I literally could have died the next day and would have been fine with it.
You could have died at the end of that song and been okay with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good Vegas trip. Should we even mention the drive home?
Spacebound
Spacebound?
or homebound?
Carbound?
He's already looking like he's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Already. It's been 3 seconds.
Gage's last nerve bound?
Well, we can't skip straight to that already though, because we have to talk. So
We could edit it.
well,
We could make this not happen.
what is it? 2019?
Yes.
Well, that fell a little short. So yeah, after the concert and stuff, I mean, I think we kind of went out and dilly-dallied for a little bit
Oh, okay.
longer, but we didn't stay out like super late that night. For me, more I'm talking about like the next morning when we woke up and checked out of the hotel and then got breakfast
Yeah, at Denny's.
at Denny's with that one badass old bearded server dude.
Yeah.
He was pretty cool. He did us right. We also had the shittiest table in the whole place and we're right by the kitchen, so we were like kind of his first stop for anything. But I'm gonna chop it up to he's being a nice guy. And then we went next door because I needed to buy some Powerades because I was dehydrated, and that's when we got
The old Trump.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Ray Ray's fantastic Nana.
Yeah.
For the love of God, hates Trump. Like, I've never seen anybody hate somebody more.
Like, if we're eating food, she's... By the way, okay, if I'm passing the TV, it's two things. The news about Trump or the Food Network.
Yep.
It's literally those two things. That's all she watches.
That's really weird because the only thing I've ever eaten at your house is pizza.
Yeah, well, she wants to you have a good experience in her eyes. Her food is amazing, but in her eyes, it's not. So she's like, oh, I'll get pizza. Gage likes pizza.
Gage likes food.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Actually makes some pretty good food. Yeah.
Thank
Never
you.
had it. Well, guess I'm left out here.
But, in any case, me and her differ a bit on some of our political viewpoints. And so
Like
she...
almost
exclusively?
night and day. Yeah.
So, she likes to make fun of me for Trump. So we had to get her a souvenir.
Christmas present.
Yes. Was it Christmas or her birthday?
Her birthday.
Yeah.
We waited.
We saved it for like 4 months.
No. Oh, yes. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Her birthday is the same month as Christmas. So
Yeah.
that's what I was like.
But from the trip. So we saved this little souvenir for 4 months until her birthday came around. So I could give her a Trump figurine that she still has.
Yep. She hasn't burnt it.
No, I'm very surprised. That tells me that she actually semi-likes me.
I think she uses it more as like it is a bobblehead, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a little I think she usually probably uses it for like stress management. Maybe like doinks him in the head a couple times when she's mad.
I fear, though, she's going to get into a political war with me and start sending me, like, Hillary stuff.
But see, here's the thing, Nana, I think, honestly has realized, and that's why this hasn't happened yet, you're not someone you get into a war with.
Yeah.
That's very true. And the Trump bobblehead, she keeps it around, I think, for darker reasons. I think she's hoping to put a voodoo curse on said bobble doll and maybe shake it up and hopefully it will work for,
I could agree with that.
yeah.
I think everyone knows better than to mess with the Shadow Man.
Well, my grandma probably grew up with the Shadow Man. I mean...
Yeah, you're probably right.
Dude, my grandma has some dark powers. I've told you some stories about how dark her powers get. Like, the time around my neighborhood, a motorcycle was just driving around the block because this guy got a new
Motorcycle?
A new moped.
This guy got a new motorcycle.
Motorcycle. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
Motor, like a car engine motor, and then like
cycle. What?
the second
what are you,
word
an
in
idiot?
bicycle.
Yeah, so a motorcycle. He got a motorcycle, and he was giving people rides around the block. But our screen door was open. All you heard was, and she goes, you know what? I wish you would take that motorcycle and before she could even finish the sentence, you just heard a. What happened was the guy lost control of the motorcycle, Gage, and rear-ended a Ford truck, and one of the old ones, not this, carbon fiber plastic kind of thing. It was metal. And he wrecked the motorcycle with a passenger on it. So she has dark powers. Or the time we went to the movie theater and it was kind of cloudy out, and she goes, wouldn't that be interesting if the power went out? And the power at the theater went out. Yeah, she has dark powers. I don't know how she does it.
The Shadow Man.
The Shadow Man, probably. Watch out, Trump. We may have to cut that for legal reasons.
Yeah, I honestly say in the future we do a Nana segment.
I'll do a Nana podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. So, we bought her a bobblehead. And then we hit the road again, and what a ride that was. Probably the most living hell I've ever been through, and I spent 7 months in Iraq. So...
Aw, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's a huge compliment.
Yeah. Hey, high five. Good to you.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So, not only because you rode bitch, you rode in the back, but also it was hot as hell.
It was hot.
But it was mainly because Brad and I were arguing about something important, at least important to me.
So they're arguing about this title of what they're gonna name something, and I think everyone was just like kind of slightly delirious after 2 days of a very little amount of sleep, and just all the walking and nonstop going. So we're 7 hours into the drive home.
Yeah.
So we're approaching the end, but I mean it's starting to get dark out. And I think Brad and Mike here kind of lost their sanity for a little bit in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, you were also asleep for some of that.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, subconsciously, every time I heard "bound," it like penetrated my sleep.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. You were probably dreaming of some weird stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, I wrote a screenplay and I finished it right before the trip. And Brad read it the night before. Gage read it the day we drove out, and then I really want a title for it to be Spacebound because it's a sci-fi action movie. I think Spacebound is a suitable name. Some people, Brad, disagree with me. And
that's because
he's
they
wrong.
weren't spacebound that entire screenplay.
It's a trilogy, by the way.
Thank you, Gage, for the self-promotion.
So Mike was basing his title off of the second screenplay that he was currently writing at the time versus the first screenplay that he was trying to name after the second screenplay. So I'm on Brad's side, I think here. So
the argument for that was
We were almost shitty name bound at that point.
What we did on the way home was Brad and I were arguing while Gage was asleep, and we basically were like, okay, if not Spacebound, how about Homebound? And we just basically or Star Wars. That one upsets me more than anything.
I think I snapped out of my slumber at one point and just said, if they don't shut up, we're gonna be ditchbound.
Yeah. Basically, we just added bound to anything.
Everything.
Yeah, and
But like for hours.
yeah, and it did something weird. Every time we were saying bound with anything, Spacebound, Homebound, Starbound, anything like that, it was equally pissing us off, all three of us, but we were laughing our asses off.
I think it was definitely one of those like
We lost
laugh
our minds.
and cry moment at the same time.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. I think everyone just kind of went off the railroad tracks there for a few
And by
hours.
this time, it's getting dark again, so it was already hitting
Yeah, it was bad.
9, 10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
at
was
least.
bad.
Yeah, we got home like 11,
Yeah.
something like that. But yeah, we all knew we were trapped. So it was either kill each other or just laugh it, fake it till you make it,
Yeah.
basically. So
I don't think I've ever gotten out of the car and ran away from these two guys quicker in my life than after that road trip.
By the way, I just remembered this. The start of the trip was kind of a shit show itself. I specifically bought 2 dozen donuts
That you left.
that I left at the house because we were going to snack on it as we drove. Totally forgot about it. And we were 2 exits down, and you were like, you want to go back? And I was like, nah.
Yeah.
So I had my family eat the rest of the donuts.
Well, good for them.
Yeah. Yeah, that was our Vegas trip. That was, however, only the second trip that we've taken as a group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Our first trip, we went to a place called Loon Lake. This kind of gets geography a little bit, but
Yeah.
we went.
It's a remote lake up in the mountains, basically, and there was an old, World War II bomber that crashed up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, B-25
Yeah.
Dragon Bomber, if I remember right.
So it's like a about 4.5 mile hike
Yeah.
into this lake, and then you can camp there, and then another 1.5 mile hike
To the
bomber.
the crash bomber. I heard about this back in high school from one of my favorite teachers. I heard about it, and I've always wanted to go. I just mentioned it to these 2 hooligans, and they were like, "Let's make this a thing." And I've been trying to go there for almost 5 years.
This was your 3rd or 4th time attempting to plan this trip?
Yes.
Yeah.
I attempted to plan it, and it just everything fell through. The time we would go, it would be too muddy. So we all kind of took time off to go on this said trip, and yeah, we finally did it. It's called Loon Lake. It's amazing. easy, moderate hike.
Yeah, not too hard.
Yeah,
not too hard.
Yeah, not too many like inclines or downclines. I know I messed that up. What's the opposite of an incline?
Decline.
Decline, not downcline.
I want to get a little bit of a.
ASMR.
Now I need a Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
God damn it.
Yeah,
God
I
damn
feel like Brad you triggered him.
I was.
Hey, Gage, how about you take a moment and tell us about our sponsor, Mountain Dew?
Mountain Dew, because do the do.
Do the do, and also what's the catchphrase Brad always says?
Which one? I don't know.
What?
What do you say about Mountain Dew all the time?
Nectar of the gods.
Nectar of
yeah.
the gods. I mean, I haven't had soda for 4 years now. I quit.
Just a damn shame.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. I've mainly drank water and apple juice.
I will say though, since meeting you though, I drink significant larger amount of water than I did beforehand. So you are somewhat of a good influence.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
And I'm a great influence on you.
Nope.
Yeah.
All these new experiences.
God, twice in my presence have you been with or had the chance to be with two girls at the same time? It's because you two girls at the strip club. And then
I know where this is going.
two other girls at the same time.
Do we want to segue into this?
No, not right now.
Okay.
But we're going to definitely put that one on the back burner.
Yeah, we will. So
If nothing else, another time.
yeah.
Great influence.
Yeah.
Best. What do you agree on?
Best worst influence.
Yeah, me. The
Oh,
best,
okay.
worst influence you'll ever meet.
I thought you were talking about this podcast, and I was gonna be like, it's best.
No,
for
it's
us
just
to
the fucking
discuss.
best.
Okay. So yeah, we went to Loon Lake. It's a nice, easy hike. Not too many inclines, declines, all that jazz. We get to the lake, so we make the campsite, and we pitch our tent. There's 3 other groups there. Yeah, give or take.
Yep.
A couple different groups. Honestly, I was actually surprised to see some of these people there. But so we pitched our tent. We brought a 6-person tent for the 3 of us. Gage brought a hammock because he was going to hammock between 2 trees, while Brad and I slept on opposite ends of the tent.
Of a 6-person tent.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, we're like, I don't know, I'd probably say somewhere around 5,500, 6,000 feet
Yep.
elevation.
Yeah.
It got cold.
It got real cold.
Yeah, especially when the weather hit.
So Gage's first night, we spent 2 nights there, 3 days total. So the first night, Gage is hammocking, and it's raining, or at least it's cold.
Did it rain the first night?
I can't remember, honestly.
I don't think it rained. It was really cold. though.
Here's the problem. In general with this camping trip, none of us had done it before. in that setting. It's like I've gone on hikes and all that stuff through the military, but I didn't have like the proper bags or anything to go on a actual backpacking trip. None of us did. We were like normal backpacks. Brad was carrying a cooler.
The whole worst mistake we could do. Too.
Yeah.
A fishing
I think
pole.
Mike, you had the tent in your hands, and then I think you were carrying one backpack on your back, another one in your hand, and then the tent.
Yeah, so I had a backpack with a strap across my chest, along with a bungee cord.
It's called a sternum strap.
Oh, do tell. Don't.
I did already.
yeah.
No, okay. I was carrying a tent, and then I was carrying a duffel bag kind of thing that had the food.
Yes.
A good chunk of the food, because...
So I had reached out to one of my other veteran friends and asked him if he had like some sort of bag that I could go on this hiking trip with. And he was like, yeah, sure, man. Of course, I got you. The day before, because of course I'm a procrastinator, so I pack the night before I go anywhere, or the morning of. Really just kind of depends on how I'm feeling. I go over to my buddy's house and he hands me a sea bag, which are the giant green with the 2 very uncomfortable straps that you see in any movie or on the airport conveyor belt that I'm about to go and hike. I think we ended up hiking a total of like
12
to 13 miles.
Yep.
And
by the time we got back to the truck.
yeah, the whole...
At least 9 of that was all packed
Yeah.
Yeah.
with gear.
So none of us were properly prepared for this hiking trip.
We made it.
Yeah, I brought alcohol and mixers for the alcohol. I learned my lesson from that one. I will never go out in the middle of the wilderness and get drunk again. I'm just going to bring weed next time.
It's a lot lighter.
It is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
This podcast doesn't condone weed, just in case we have to say that.
I mean, obviously, if we were going to, it would be in Oregon.
Yeah.
Good save.
But yeah, so the first night we get up there, and yeah, so I slung up the hammock, and the problem with that is I didn't bring any sort of mat to put under me in the hammock. So obviously, with the hammock in the air, when the wind blows or anything like that, the cold air can get in from the bottom as well. I had a tarp over the top, so I was blocked that way. But yeah, I ended up basically freezing my ass off all night, and I was too stubborn to get up and go crawl in the tent because that required me getting out of my sleeping bag, and I was already freezing cold. And that's setting up our shelter
Yes.
on day one.
Oh my gosh.
We brought a bunch of tarps
Yeah.
and zip ties and 550 cord paracord and tried to basically jimmy rig up a whole lean-to around a couple of trees thing.
Like we were gonna live there for 2 weeks.
Yeah. I think the weather was coming in. Like,
Yeah.
it did look bad. So we learned, yeah, equipment is key for these kinds of things.
That they're also expensive.
They are expensive.
We chatted up the people there that were regular hikers.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
They, like, traveled states
yeah.
to do specific hikes.
Yeah.
We did learn a lot of new stuff, cool stuff from them.
Oh, yeah.
So it was kind of cool. Mentors, if
Yeah.
you will.
Like this thing they can do with their leg, they can just
Just like Tilda.
yeah.
You're confusing two trips here.
Oh, am I? Oh.
But so that first night we had spent a little time away from each other. I forget why, but there was some time before that trip that we had spent away from each other.
So yes. Brad went to Vegas and Disneyland. Gage, you
Was that when I went home? Or I was preoccupied. Who knows what I was doing? Because I don't. Or was I working? And you were somewhere.
No, I was there. But yeah, basically we haven't seen each other in a span of like 2 weeks.
Which for
before
us
the trip.
is a long time. Because we always keep each other up on the up and up. So we basically picked specific topics that we were not going to talk about on the whole car ride, and all of that stuff. And saved for once we were around the campfire and we had some drinks poured because some of them were more intensive subjects
Yes.
that we needed out.
What a shelter.
Yeah.
Wow.
I found it.
So we got a picture of the shelter. That will not be posted anywhere ever.
By the way, we will be posting these pictures up. We do have our Facebook page. We'll be making a Twitter handle. All these things will be linked later on.
Yeah. Great. Here we go.
Why do you not want people to see this? Because you're ex-Marine and it would bring shame to to everything you held dear.
We can lie and say you were drinking.
Or
we can lie and say you were sober if that makes it better. Either way.
Yeah,
all right, that's fair. You know what? Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
But so we just huddled around the campfire and drank a little bit and
Caught up.
Yeah, exchanged some stories.
Yeah, because each one of us had
Like pretty big.
major things that happened.
Yeah.
While we were not hanging out together.
Yeah.
So yeah, we caught up a little bit. I mean, there was the two women at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a thing.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the other news each one of us had really specifically was. Well, okay, so if we remember, we'll go back to it. So
We caught up.
we caught up around the bonfire, kind of all decided to call it a night. Well, Mike and Brad are a little bit more snug and warm in their tent.
Separated. Opposite
There's
ends.
actually no proof to
We have proof. 2 eyewitnesses. Names of Mike Ray Ray and Brad Boo Radley.
I don't know.
Can't confirm.
Can confirm.
Brad was drunk.
I wasn't.
So who took advantage of who?
No one.
Okay,
if anything, you did.
So they were a little bit more comfortable. I'd say they're probably more uncomfortable, just warmer. I was significantly more comfortable not sleeping on the ground, but colder.
Yeah.
Pros and cons here.
Yeah.
So I end up getting up significantly earlier than these two. I think I was up by 6:37, and you guys didn't roll out of bed in for like 2-3 hours after that. Well, you guys woke up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love this story. Brad, do you want to tell her or you want me to?
Go ahead.
So again, at separate ends of the tent. I wake up at like 6, and so does Brad, or 7 or whatever. I roll over and Brad rolls over. We both lock eyes. We both shake our heads no, and then we rolled back over and
into each other.
And nope. Cannot confirm. We rolled back over the other way and went back to sleep for another like hour because we were like, nah, not gonna happen. Yeah. This is a vacation for us.
Mm-hmm. So by the time they get out of the tent and come over, I have befriended one of the other groups that was there. It was a larger group, all sorts of ages. I don't know, young teens all the way up through. I probably some of those guys were probably up in their like 50s.
Yeah,
and just kind of chit chatting with them. I'd woken up early and tried to start a fire, and everything was wet, and we didn't set anything aside. Oh, you had the dry stuff in the tent to start the fire.
Yep. Can confirm Gage started the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning.
Stop him now.
Yeah, please.
Keep going.
Okay, so what else do I have to do other than to finish all of my alcohol at 7 in the morning? So they get out of bed, we'll say 10 o'clock, and they come out, 9:30 maximum.
8:30. I would say.
Yeah.
All right, so
Definitely not 10.
Woke up around 8. And they come out, and I am huddled around a fire with a bunch of strangers drunk.
Didn't it
By the way, how often does that happen, that you are waking up drunk, huddled around a fire with a bunch of strangers? On a daily basis, on a weekly basis, how many times?
I think that's more of a monthly basis kind of thing.
I would agree.
Depends on the month. Some months are none. Some months are like 5. You never really know.
Yeah, he probably does it more around winter time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually just got invited to a fire in like 2 days. So probably then as well.
You should just let it go. Anyway, wasn't it always hail?
Oh, so the second day.
Wasn't it also hailing?
That was
the second day that we...
Because I went out to try to fish when it was raining, and then it turned straight into hail.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so in one day, we all woke up and it was a beautiful morning outside, and then the weather just turns for the worst.
Luckily, after our hike.
Yes.
Yeah, so we've done hiking, because that first... Oh, yeah, that's the second day we hiked out to the plane.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess let's rewind and let's talk about the hike to the plane.
Yes. So the hike to the plane, where our campsite is, on the other side of the lake is where basically the plane is, I would say, roughly around. Mm-hmm. And so there's 2 ways in, 2 ways out.
There's a pathway that you could either kind of go to and there from, or there's the hard way. And as anyone that knows me knows...
Hard mode it is.
I love hard mode, unintentionally.
Yeah. He really gives it, 4? So we decided to go to the left side of the lake to get to the bomber. And we had to pass a stream leading off a river flow.
It's more like a marshland.
Yeah.
On the left side. The stream was on the right.
Well, no. There was the stream where we had to jump from rock to rock.
Oh, right there by the campsite. Okay.
Yeah, at the beginning. So we had to jump rock to rock to pass this stream, creek,
Thank God we've all played Frogger.
Yes.
So we passed level 1.
Yep. Level 2 was a bit harder. Up there at Loon Lake, there was a fire that happened, so a lot of the trees have toppled over and were laying on top of each other. And so we had to do a balancing act on said trees. And it was mainly the trees were on top of either rocks or marshy land. Mm-hmm. So that's what we had to deal with.
Kind of just turned into like a wilderness adventure contest.
Yes.
You know, the Sasquatch.
The Sasquatch Challenge.
The
Hence
Sasquatch
where
Challenge, yeah.
the name on my phone comes from. Because the first one to get defeated.
Yep. I lost bad.
Yeah.
So So Brad was in front of us carrying the cooler and a fishing pole. Did you bring a
No, I didn't have the fishing pole at that time, just the cooler.
He brought his cooler, and then it was myself and then Gage. We, right below us was the marshy water of all that, and a log going across. And so Brad went across, and then I went across, and I quickly lost my footing and extended my right foot out to catch myself on another branch.
Yep.
That branch ended up snapping.
Yep, broke. Yeah.
Broke under my feet, and I went down like a
Sack of potatoes.
Yeah, sack of potatoes, and I cut up my arm really bad, and I also knocked the air out of me, and also bruised a couple of my ribs.
Yeah.
And fell in the marsh.
Yes, and fell in the marsh. I was my pant legs were soaked, and I couldn't breathe. I at this point I had my sternum strap across my chest along with a bungee cord. Could not breathe. Could not get air into my lungs. And luckily Gage was a step behind me, and his marine training kicked in, and he threw out his arm, and I grabbed it, and he heaved me towards him like a sack of potatoes.
Potatoes.
And so he got me to him, and quickly we started to fumble around with the sternum strap and the bungee cord to try and get my lungs to fill back up with air. And Gage was there to kind of help me, and at this point Brad was running across this other log to not save me. I didn't need saving, but the thought was there. Thank you.
Yeah.
After the strap was undone, you took that first breath, and Brad was still on his way. And I think that's when me and him made eye contact, and then we just that's when the laughter kicked in.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I couldn't stop.
Yeah, I think
for a very long time.
I think once I got breath back into my lungs, I said, "Be careful" to Brad. Don't fall, I think were my words. So yeah, and we were like 20 feet away from the bomber. We were real
we
close.
were not very far away.
And one of the
We've been hiking for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And he saves it for the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Of the hike out.
Well, I try. But there was one of the other camper groups went there before us and made it there before us, and so they heard all of this happen. Like me going like, can't breathe, like help.
Yeah, they hear him gasping and needing help, and us just uncontrollably laughing at him. But that's because we're true friends.
Yeah. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem.
Every time. So then we got to the plane, and that was pretty cool. I think the coolest thing on that was there was like one part of the plane that I saw. There was like a carving from '64.
Yeah.
With someone's initials.
Yeah.
So I mean, this plane, it's definitely like it's now a historical site. They have like signs up and all that jazz around it, and we ended up like packing up or sitting down and eating kind of lunch with the other group that was there.
Yeah.
Jess.
Yeah. Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
What a woman.
She, Speedy Gonzalez.
Good God.
Jinx, both of you guys owe me a soda.
I don't drink soda. I don't believe in soda.
You owe me apple juice.
You stole one of my Mountain Dews out of my fridge. We're even.
And a Dr. Pepper.
You're a bitch.
See, you already got the 2 drinks.
It's from now.
Ah, shit.
So yeah, no, and that was kind of cool. Got to sit down and chit chat with them for a bit. Took pictures with the plane, all that good stuff.
Licked my wounds.
Yeah.
I did the licking.
Yeah.
The other guys did.
Until we headed back out, and that's when stage 3 of the challenge came about.
Log over river.
Yeah. Once again, old Ray here.
I gotta say, I kind of forgot about this part.
We didn't. We got it on video.
Yeah, we did.
So do you want me to tell this again? Do you want me to tell this? So Brad makes it across. Gage first makes it across. It's another kind of stream with just a single log. It was a pretty slim log.
This one was a longer one.
Oh well, yeah. It's literally your classic. I would probably say,
15 paces.
I was gonna say 15, 20 yard wide stream with a singular. You can put one foot straight on it, and you're gonna be wobbling.
Yeah.
So it's your classic. Please don't fall in log over river.
Yeah. And at this point, I was hurting because, I had 2-3 bruised ribs at this point. And so Gage and Brad made it across. I start walking across, but I'm of course in pain, and I get about halfway and I am stumbling around and I'm thinking I'm gonna fall again. And so while balancing, I take my phone out of my pocket and I go, catch Brad, and I threw at him. He catches it. I take my iPod out of my pocket and I throw it to Brad. He also catches it. And at this point, he's putting those in his pockets.
And I've started recording.
and Gage is recording. And I go, okay, this is going to be interesting. And so I just go full sprint across this log. I get to the bank of the stream. Last step, I step right into the stream. And it wasn't like a deep stream.
I was like mid-calf, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, it was definitely like almost
But
knee high.
it was like salt in the wound,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, it was even worse because I was also laughing, but laughing hurt. And also, I suddenly just fell. And again, my ribs just compressed, so it was even more pain from that laughing and also like pulling myself out of the thing because my ribs hurt. My ribs hurt for 2 weeks, 3 weeks afterwards.
I mean, if we asked, I bet Jess could have carried you across.
She probably could have.
Yeah, so
I would have been fine with it.
The reason we went the other way was because obviously we had an injury the other way the first time.
Yeah.
We're not trying to do that a second time, and the other group
I
left the other way. So obviously,
And they told us there was a path that way.
we didn't find one for about 30 minutes, or until Wonder Woman emerges out of the brush and informs us by screaming across, it's probably like 100 yards away, and she's up on a path, but you had to climb the mountain to get up like to the path. You couldn't stay down by the lake.
Because it was marshy and you would have gone in.
Yeah, so we found ourselves in a little predicament because we didn't watch them cut up. They had left a little bit ahead of us. We just saw them go the other way. So we're trying to basically navigate through this marsh now when we could have gone on a path, and she's screaming to us, there's a path up here. And we go up there, and sure as hell, a perfect path all the way back to camp.
You know what? Jess probably made that path for us. She probably had time to do that.
You know, you're probably right.
Yeah. She
With
probably
her bare hands.
Yeah,
With her bare hands.
She probably mowed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
weed whacked a little bit. Made it. I think there was a rocky path. You know, two roads kind of thing.
Right to her tent.
Right to her tent. What a nice lady. You know,
Mm-hmm.
good gal.
Salt to the earth.
Some would say.
Should have tried to go in her tent.
So we finally found the path, and then we followed said path, and
Well, that's kind of when the bad weather started coming in.
yeah.
Very overcast, and yeah, it was pending doom style clouds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right on the other side, and we kind of ended up getting oddly lucky because we were like in a valley, kind of. So the storm was coming right at us, and then did like a circle around the whole valley, and we thought we were clear, and then it started raining, and we're like, all right, whatever, a little rain, never hurt nobody. And then Brad, he goes down to fish because if anyone fishes, it's good fishing when it's raining.
Yep.
So he goes down to fish, and I'm up there just shooting shit with some of the other groups. I think you're in the tent, Mike.
Yeah, I was. My ribs were really
Yeah,
hurting, so
he
I
was,
was kind of just relaxing.
Taking some R&R.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, it starts hailing out of nowhere.
Hard hailing.
And I'm talking like dime-sized pieces of hail.
These were big.
So it was super cold. It
By the way,
rained, snowed,
Speaking of the
and
cold,
hailed.
Speaking of the cold, right before this, when we were hiking, it was what, 75, 80 degrees?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then it dropped down below freezing.
Like once we
Like 30, maybe 25 is what it dropped down to.
once we pitched the tent, it was like 35 degrees. Like,
Yeah.
Like that. And yeah, it was freezing temperatures. And
Yeah.
like I said, we got the snow, the hail, the rain, and all that. It was intense.
It was truly an adventure.
Get it? Intense.
Ha.
We're cutting.
Don't cut that. So yeah, then kind of Brad came up and we were all like huddled under one of the shelters another group made because ours was shit.
Yep.
And I think a pretty chill night.
Yeah.
And then eventually we jumped in the tent and then started making ramen noodles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
In the tent.
In the
Yep.
tent, Jet Oil sponsor.
Please.
Um,
We love it.
even if it's just 2 more Jet Oils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm the only one that has one.
Or the fuel for it.
2 complete packages of JetBoil.
Attaboy.
And maybe I could use a French press for mine. That'd be great.
Okay, you're being a little bit greedy. Just
I
being
mean,
a special guest and all.
Did you know I served your country?
Wow. All right. See, I don't know. I don't know if I should be a dick to you because you're my friend, or I should give you the respect you deserve because you're a service member. Thank you for your service.
That's the glorious thing about this conundrum that I live in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so we started eating. And then I think we were playing some card games or...
Yeah, I think we played some Scum.
Yep, that's what we played.
Yeah.
And I was dominating, if I remember correctly.
All I know is I fucking suck at that game. That's all I know.
Yeah, you're not good. We
Fucking scum.
We were decent. But that night, Gage was smart and slept in the tent with us. He slept...
Right in the middle, baby.
Right in the middle. Did you know Gage is a really good skier?
Amazingly, in the middle of the night, you hear this clink from a belt.
You know, it's a real shame. It's a real shame I'm not into winter sports.
Yeah.
With as good as I am at skiing.
Yeah. So the next day, Gage and I also had one of those moments that Brad and I had where I woke up. I was the first one awake per usual, and I rolled over and I locked eyes with Gage, and Gage just gives me a little head nod. And I'm like, "Hey, buddy." Usually, I have a rule: if you're the first one up, you stay as silent as possible. I don't care how bored you are. You do not move. You do not get out of that tent. You do not make noise until you lock eyes with another person that you are camping with, you're traveling with.
See, I'm gonna have to also, like, I still think majority rules.
Yeah.
So for us,
Yes.
that worked. But
Yes.
if you were camping with 5 people and me and you woke up and made eye contact, we
Exactly.
still cannot move.
Because you need one more.
I agree.
Unless you are getting out of the tent to set up camp for the other people.
That
like wake
that makes
up,
sense. Or
start the fire so you could get some breakfast going.
yeah, I agree with that. Or if you have to answer nature's call, I would also say, like that's an
Be a
important
man
thing.
and hold it. God damn it.
Well, yes, but also I think my tent mates would rather not have pee all over them.
That's why I said
Hold it.
Yeah. Don't have an argument for this. Because listen, I did hold
Apparently
it for a
somebody
lot
else
of
needs
time.
those depends. So
Yeah. I'll share.
Where do you guys want to go from there?
I mean,
We woke
I mean,
up.
that was just our, it was just us walking back, packed up camp the next morning,
Yeah. We
walked
got-
back, which is a significantly easier hike, I feel like. Well,
with half the weight gone.
yeah, I was about to say I drank all of my alcohol in mixers, which was probably 15 pounds right there.
Yeah, and we
Cooler
ate.
was damn near empty.
Yeah.
Your food bag was pretty much empty.
Yeah, except for we had one little snafu, and that was, again, the tent, because since I got injured, I carried the tent a good chunk of the way. I would say, 2.5, 3 miles?
Yeah, I was about to say, I think me and you tried to switch off.
Yeah, because you were being a real pal and was carrying the tent, because...
I was the only one with free hands
Yeah.
because I put everything in the giant, uncomfortable backpack versus multiple small containers.
And also, even though the trip back down was fine, we were missing something that we had on the way up when we walked into the campsite, and that was my music. I jerry-rigged a speaker so I could play music. I basically stayed in the middle so we could play music. I had my iPod and all that, but when I fell twice, I broke the speaker.
Yeah.
The speaker was also a speaker from something else that he had put into a cardboard box.
Yep.
So when he says Jimmy rigged a speaker, he means he Jimmy rigged the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, I had to solder and all that.
But it fucking worked.
It did.
It
yeah.
worked like a charm. I still have that. I'm hoping to save it sometime. But yeah, God, I miss that. That was a good thing, and I messed it up.
But yeah, so got back to the truck, loaded up. We all took a shit
Yep,
on an actual toilet where the truck was stopped.
missed it.
Yeah, and then headed back. Little hop, skip, and a jump back home.
Yep. Good trip. Good
Yeah, it was
first
awesome.
Trip.
I have pictures from that trip framed.
Do you really?
Yeah, in my house.
Hey.
Oh, how gay.
Gay for you guys.
Yeah.
How many times have I said I've skied with you guys in this podcast? And you want to call that gay? That I have pictures that I took framed?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, that could mean anything. You're literally laying it all out when you say I have pictures of that trip framed. Skiing could mean anything.
Nature pictures of nature with no humans in them.
Oh, we're not in them?
No,
Oh.
it's just nature pictures
Oh, okay. I wish you would have said
from our
that.
hike
Oh.
and our fire
Oh.
and the lake.
Oh. I thought you were saying because we took a nice picture by Loon Lake of all three of us.
Yeah, we took a few.
So
I
you-
took them.
So you don't have those framed.
I do not.
I'm disgusted.
You don't either.
Hey,
Don't.
You don't know me.
Yes, I do.
Can confirm.
Sounds like you're losing bound.
Hey man, stay out of this. Losing. Oh, I feel like we should stop this podcast before it gets any uglier. But before we go, so Gage, since this is your first time on our podcast, because we're all best friends here, we like to do segments of stuff. One of those segments is each week we pick something that we enjoy that we think the audience might enjoy, or maybe the audience might like because they like you, or you just want the world to know what they should be watching, what they should be reading, what they should be playing, stuff like that. So
It's your pick of the week, all right?
pick of the week.
You
Wait, no, you go and go last, all right,
Yeah,
buddy?
Give me a second to think because I don't want you guys to go and then me still be sitting here in silence.
So-
No, so we'll talk a bit about it.
Okay.
Anyways. So
Yeah.
we'll go first.
All right.
We'll give him some time to think.
And it could be anything. It could be
Yeah.
your, hey, check out this actor, check out this comedian, check out this book, anything like that. Check out this song even, or album. You know, anything like that. Just what you want to share to the world. So,
So I'll go first this time. Yeah. So for this week, what I'm going to do is one of my favorite comedies of all time. So it's Mel Brooks' History of the World Part 1.
good movie.
Fucking love that movie.
Never seen it.
Oh my god, you're borrowing it today.
Okay.
It's
So-
it's one of my favorite Mel Brooks movies.
Yeah, it got me into parody type movies. So it's also one of the first ones that he says, a key phrase that he says in a few different ones from then on, which is, "It's good to be the king."
That is my favorite line.
Good to be the king.
I want a tattoo of that on my body somewhere with a crown above it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Now, can we get matching tattoos?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess
matching tattoos.
If somebody wants to sponsor us to get matching tattoos,
I'll sponsor both of you.
Oh, sweet.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Me too.
To see him get a tattoo, all in.
Yeah, you're right. That's an investment. That's worth it.
What?
You
Wow,
look-
that got myself into.
You look like you're sweating over there a little bit, Mike.
I'm not sweaty. Do you have a napkin or handkerchief?
But yeah, love that movie. Great oldie but a goodie. Mel Brooks, one of my favorite guys. He's got some of that darker humor, great parody stuff, Blazing Saddles, stuff like that. And this was one of the first ones I saw, and I love that movie to death. So
Yeah, it
Yeah.
basically goes around through history of time.
Yeah.
With a couple of different things where at one point they're in Rome.
it starts off they're cavemen,
Yeah,
and then it moves on to Rome. And then it moves on to what? The Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah.
And then the French Revolution.
Yeah,
And
it
then
ends
they
on that.
tease part 2.
Yeah,
which
part
is
2.
just fucking hilarious.
There is no part 2, by the way.
no, there
Spoilers.
isn't. Unfortunately.
We need it though.
Yeah. That is my pick for this week.
Good pick, solid pick. Gage, we're gonna skip you for now. My pick of the week is a book. The book that I'm recommending is Nothing Lasts Forever. Is the inspiration behind Die Hard, and we all know Die Hard's one of my favorite movies. The movie stays true to the book, and the book itself has a lot of great ideas, and it is really well thought out and read through. Like at one point he's just describing rooms and like where everything is placed in said rooms, and tries to give you kind of the full layout so you kind of know instead of just seeing it in the movie. And it stays pretty true to what the movie kind of brought, so yeah, it's a good one. All right, Gage, go ahead. And that's all the time we have.
So my first pick ever, it's actually gonna be an album.
Okay.
So something a little bit different.
So you got movie this week, book this week, and an album this
Yeah.
week. Good choice.
This album is from 2003.
Okay.
Album is called Live From the Road. Artist is Motor City Josh and the Big Three. They're kind of, I'd like to describe their music as like happy blues. And I will tell you, like, some of their songs, they're like 9 minutes a piece. But it's
God.
it's literally just these.
Freebird!
It's these guys. It's an older brother and a younger brother. In the band, and they one sings it nice and sweet, and the other sings it nice and real. I guess it's kind of that music that makes you feel something, but it's not depressing. It really makes you want to get off your ass and jam.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe take a long walk.
Yeah, it's definitely some feel good music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that choice. This is a good choice.
Yeah.
What was the name again?
It is by Motor City Josh and the Big Three, and the album cover is called Live From the Road.
I like that. Good choice. I haven't heard it personally, but I think I will. So
You've
Brad?
heard it from me. You just didn't know you've heard it.
Yeah, I have. I've heard it. Brad, good choice of movie. Mike, good choice of book. Gage, good choice of artist and album. That concludes this episode of the Best Friends Discuss podcast. Peace out.
Later.
Girl Scout.